Welcome to today's explainer. Right now, we're diving into a skill that is literally a game changer for both your professional and personal life. We're talking about the power of concreteness in communication. The goal here, to take all those vague, floaty ideas swirling around in your head and transform them into compelling, crystal clear, actionable language that actually gets results.
But hey, before we get into the nuts and bolts of how to do that, think about this for a second. Have you ever sent an email, maybe delivered a pitch, or handed in a report that was just completely misunderstood? Or honestly, even worse, completely ignored? You really thought you were being perfectly clear, right? But the person on the other end just didn't get it, or they had to ask 3 follow-up questions just to decode what you meant. It's exactly what leads to those universally dreaded "per my last email" moments. Super frustrating, isn't it?
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the 7 C's framework, move into defining concrete communication, look at facts, figures, and specifics, talk about choosing the right words, and finish up with some real-world transformations.
All right, part 1, the 7 C's framework.
So, effective communication isn't an accident. It's a system, and there are 7 foundational pillars to it. We've got clarity, conciseness, completeness, correctness, consideration, courtesy, and concreteness. Now look, being clear, concise, and courteous, absolutely crucial. They all tie together. But today, we're zeroing in on what I honestly consider to be the absolute linchpin of this entire framework, concreteness.
Why is it the linchpin? Well, because mastering this specific rule is exactly how you guarantee your message gets that completed stamp. When we talk about striving for completed communication, we mean your message is fully received, it's accurately interpreted, and it requires zero back and forth. Why? Because there's absolutely no room left for confusion.
Moving on to part 2, defining concrete communication.
So what exactly are we talking about here? Concreteness means using specific facts, hard figures, and direct words rather than vague, connotative language. And by connotative, I mean words that rely on feelings or loose associations. We want to completely avoid misinterpretation. So the absolute golden rule of concreteness is this: you should never, ever let a reader deduce the meaning themselves. If they're guessing what you mean, you've already lost them. You have to hand them the exact meaning explicitly.
Which brings us to part 3, facts, figures, and specifics.
Let's take a look at the number 60. Providing actual numerical data right inside your sentences is incredibly powerful. For example, instead of just saying, "Oh, many students did this," you say, "According to A and B in their 2017 study, 60% of the students did this." See, that specific number instantly anchors your sentence. It strips away all the ambiguity. Because many could mean 40% to one person and 90% to someone else. But 60%? That means exactly 60%. Always, always interpret your facts and figures clearly.
To really see how this works, let's compare 2 statements side by side. Listen to this vague general version. Student GMAT scores are higher. Okay. Higher than what? By how much? When exactly did this happen? It leaves the audience entirely in the dark, just guessing your intent. Now listen to the precise, concrete version. In 1996, the GMAT scores averaged 600. By 1997, they had risen to 610. Huge difference, right? There is literally no debate with that second one. You've proven your point with undeniable facts, and your reader knows exactly what the landscape looks like.
All right, let's jump into part 4, choosing the right words.
Now, concreteness is about word choice just as much as numbers. There are a few technical rules here that really make all the difference. First up, for meaning, you want to aim for denotative words, meaning explicit dictionary-based terms, over loose, connotative ones. Second, when it comes to word type, always choose active action verbs instead of passive nouns. And third, and this is a brilliant little tactic regarding tone, use the active voice for positive situations, but strategically deploy the passive voice for negative situations. Oh, and a massive takeaway here: avoid words with multiple meanings. Words like several, multiple, or quickly. I mean, what is quickly anyway? Is it 5 minutes? 5 days? You've got to be specific.
It's actually amazing how simple it is to upgrade your writing using this. Listen to this vague example. This letter is long. Okay, sure, but that really doesn't tell me much. Now listen to the vivid, image-building version. This letter is 3 times as long as you said it would be. Do you feel the difference there? By adding just a simple, vivid detail, the whole scale of the issue is instantly clarified. It paints an immediate, tangible picture right in the reader's mind.
And now, part 5, real-world transformations.
So when we talk about capturing an audience's attention, especially out there in the wild,
In fields like marketing, advertising, or even just pitching a fresh idea to a client, concrete details are exactly what cut through the noise. Focusing on specific possibilities rather than vague impossibilities is the exact trigger that compels a user to engage, to click that button, or to actually buy a product.
But let's be real, so often we see copy that just falls completely flat. A business says they're, quote, the best, but as the audience, our brains instantly ask, how are they the best? What does that even mean? Why should we care? These critical questions are the absolute bane of vague, generalized marketing copy. Because if you just claim you're the best without giving any specifics, absolutely nobody believes you.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how to fix that problem. Take a look at this bad example. Hilltop Resort is the best resort. Do come to us on your next holiday. Wow. Yawn, right? It answers exactly 0 of our questions. Now, listen to the good example. Hilltop Resort is the jewel of the Western Hills. Take a break from your work, escape from life's chaos and stress, relax and rejuvenate yourself at Hilltop. Go back fresh and energized. Notice how it doesn't just weakly state that they're the best, it shows you. It paints this incredibly vivid picture of escaping the daily grind. That is the ultimate show-don't-tell rule in action.
Let's look at just one more transformation. The bad version here is, the lunchbox wizard will save you time every day. Again, how? What's so special about it? Why should I even care? Now, the good version, and hey, for any parents watching, you are definitely going to feel this one when you remember the morning chaos. It goes, how much time do you spend every day packing your kids' lunches? No more. Just take a complete lunchbox wizard from your refrigerator each day to give your kids a healthy lunch and have more time to play or read with them. See, this concrete version actually visualizes a highly specific, practical, everyday benefit for the customer. You aren't just saving some abstract concept of time, you are literally getting time back to sit down and read with your kids. It's a game changer.
So, let's wrap this up and summarize the actionable tips we can extract from these real-world examples. To really communicate concretely, first, visualize the details for your reader. Literally paint that mental picture. Second, provide a clear comparison between two situations, kind of like the chaos of everyday work versus the total peace of a resort. And third, make the core idea seem incredibly practical and tangible in their day-to-day life.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer. But I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. I want you to go look at the very last pitch, report, or even email you wrote. Ask yourself, are you forcing your reader to guess your meaning, or are you handing them a concrete reality? Take these principles, audit your own writing, and start building messages that are absolutely impossible to misunderstand. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you feel fully empowered to go out there and communicate with absolute